Why there, it's Polly here with Mr. Snoots, and I am going to show you one of our favourite games. I found this at a games convention. It is not a war game, so this is pretty unusual for this channel, but this is a fantastic game, and it's a fantastic convention game. And I think every convention games room should have it. Villa Paletti. Okay, what is it? It's kind of a Jenga-esque game. So, to go back, and by I mean we, because we are always together, at a convention, and I could suddenly hear a crash, like a bunch of milk bottles falling down, and it goes, many cries. Tracked it down into this games room, and there amongst all the people sitting there, like, you know, seriously playing stuff, there's this table where these guys have walked off and abandoned this game. Villa Paletti. So, inside the box. Here we go. There is a basic baseboard, which is a building site, as you can see. One set of rules, not too big. This is only this big, by the way, because this is in French, Spanish, German. What it isn't in is English. You have to go online to find the English rules. Alright, fair enough. But a bunch of wooden rods and wooden plates. So, you are building a crazy mansion. We have different colours. We've got blues and greens, and we've got reds, and we've got yellows. Now, there are different types of rods. There is a round rod, narrow, which is 1 point in value. There is a hexagonal rod, about the same width as the round rod, as you can see. That's 2 points. And a big fat chubby, which, as you can see, bigger than the small rods. That's a 3-point rod. All of the rods of all the colours are placed on this baseboard. So, first stage is we place everything here, all the rods, onto this little section here. Sorry, that's actually has to be within the yellow bounds. So, all the rods, and as I said, 3-pointer, 2-pointer, 1-pointer, doesn't really matter. But what we now do is, this is our first roof layer, so that just goes on top like that. And you can see some of them aren't even actually in direct contact. You do get tiny little gaps, and you know, some of them aren't 100% under, they don't have to be. Some of them are freestanding. There are different base plates. Level 1 is blue. Level 2, I love the googie look of this. Level 2, level 3, sorry, level 4, level 5, level 6. So, now, again, we'll cover my, I'll take what film I can, unusually for this channel. We place all of these rods, you just get together and you just place them. Now, also in here, there is this little color-dice, as you can see. Now, once those rods are in place, you roll this for one player, and they take whatever color comes up. And you basically hit random generating until everyone has a color that is their color. Also in here we have, where are you? The hook. The dreaded hook. This is used for removing these things. So what you do is, initially you put down the base plate and your first floor, which goes directly on top of the rods. You can then use the hook. The hook is used to pull a rod from the current lower level. If you remove it safely without collapsing the tower, it is then placed onto the current upper floor. If you haven't collapsed the whole goddamn floor, good. You pass the hook on to the next person. QED. So you are allowed to use a finger to just lift up the upper floor as you're pulling a rod out. But if you start settling it and stop, you think it's going to collapse, you are allowed to kind of push the rod back in, but that's it, locked, your game's over. Now, if you get to a stage where you're looking at it and you think, damn, I can't really do this. If I pull another rod out from under this upper level, it's going to collapse. You say, I don't think I can pull a rod, I'm going to put on a new floor. The rest of the players either agree or disagree. If someone says, I disagree, you hand them the rod and they can try and pull any rod that they want. If they collapse, I guess they lose the game. But if they do succeed, they get the rod out and they now keep that rod as part of their point scoring. More on that in a minute. And then the next person around has the problem that now they're going to have to put a new layer on. But eventually you will build a new layer. And then once you put a new layer on, the previous top layer is now, the lower layer, and everything below that layer is locked. You can't take things from things further below. You're now trying to pull stuff from that layer and put it onto the next one and so on. You end up building this amazing rickety structure which snakes crazily back and forth. And you are using this rod to try and pull stuff out. So you can see how this starts to build higher and higher into a bit of a wonky structure. So you can see we can end up with quite a high and shonky thing. I've made this deliberately. It almost never gets that high because it's just so hard. You get these whole wonderful undercut cavernous areas and there's always someone pushes it too damn far and down it goes. But you can see. Now, scoring. So once you get past the first initial floor, once you get past this one, the first person to put a rod up gets this little dice and turns it to their colour. They now hold the dice and that shows who is in the lead. If I am yellow and I put the new floor up and I put my thing up there, currently I am in the lead. If someone gets rods of a higher value up onto that level, they are now in the lead. But until they do, if the whole structure collapses, I won because I was the one that currently had the dice with my colour on it. So don't collapse it unless you're in the lead, is the simple thing. And the 1, 2 or 3 points becomes kind of valuable as you're looking at not only how to deny those points to someone, because if they're locked as the supporting struts on levels, they can't really pull them out, so they've kind of lost the ability to put that on a higher level, and you're wanting your higher ones to be free so you can keep bringing them up. Or if someone said, oh, I want to make a new level, and you think you can get something, and you pull one of their high value things out, that you've removed that from their ability to use it. So there is some strategy here, but mostly it's the fun of making this giant teetering thing, which is eventually going to crash, and when it does, it is heard throughout a convention. Because these wonderful rods in here, they make a lovely clatter as they fall. What's been funny with this is playing it at a convention, because it's like, oh, so when am I supposed to be on this table? We got half an hour. All right, well, I don't want to go anywhere. All right, let's play Villa Paletti. We found this thing, and so you've got this now teetering thing. It's now 5 layers up, and you're pulling on a rod, and suddenly somehow behind you we hear this. Whatever, I'm concentrating. Okay, put it up there. Oh, the whole thing's shifting. Put it a little bit further. I think I can let go. You let it go. And suddenly you'll hear behind you, turn around and there'll be like 30 people watching the game, and they're all like, no. So yeah, it was a great spectator sport. So not a war game, however, a clever game. As you can see, not only the construction and balance and the physical pulling out, but also, you know, the little strategies of trying to use and deny different types of these rods to people. I'll try and splice in a couple of little bits of just showing you how this thing plays, but really it should be in any games collection, and it should definitely be something that that you take along to conventions if you're dragging games along. We always do. We take it along when we go places because it's a great filler game, and it's a great spectator game, and it's a great game people want to leap in and play. What is it, 4 players? Red, green, blue, yellow. Yeah, four player game. So it's a great little convention game. Just keep it slightly aside from the other tables so that you don't end up with wooden rods bouncing all over someone's 6mm troops. But it is it's a bit of a showstopper. Relatively inexpensive, and you know, weighs sweet bugger all, but it has been a long stayer for us for convention play. Definitely worth it. So anyway, do take a look. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you around the game table sometime. Much love, everybody. Bye. Yep. Okay, you can push it. You can push it. There you go.